Heat up your frozen dinners, grab your TV tray, and settle in for another episode of the Plus Platoon, your podcast for all things Disney Plus, brought to you by Disney Plus fans. Watch along with us every week as we cover all the new, the old, the good, and the bad on Disney Plus. So put down that remote, don't touch that dial, and welcome your fabulous Plus Platoon host.
Welcome, everyone. My name's Derek, and I'm one of the members of the Plus Platoon. We are a Disney Plus fan podcast that gives honest, spoiler-filled reviews of movies and shows on Disney Plus. We look at new releases, coming attractions, and we'll even go back into the vault to revisit some of the classic Disney that's on the platform. Make sure you're subscribed so you will never miss a moment. I would like to bring in Kate. Kate, how you doing?
I am so good, my brother Derek. How are you?
Doing all right. Enjoying my evening. So it's always fun to be around here.
Excellent. I know. I look forward to Tuesdays.
Yeah. Next, we have Peter. Pete, how's it going this evening?
Hey, it's going pretty good.
Good.
I usually am looking forward to talking Star Wars content. Usually.
And tonight we have Sam. Sam, how's your evening?
My evening is going pretty good so far. I'm liking your Han Solo shirt, Derek. I notice it. But I'm just excited to be with you all. I'm gonna kind of echo what Pete just said, but I won't repeat it.
Okay. Well, first thing we always do this week is we have Disney Plus news. So, Kate, what's on the news this week?
Yes. So sorry. So, Disney Plus news. So, first of all, Will Smith will be starring in a National Geographic series called Welcome to Earth. It will take him all over the earth to see some of the lesser known natural wonders. It debuts in December, and what better than the genie himself, Will Smith, to take us on tour. So exciting. Today, y'all, this might be, you know what? I'm going to save this one for last because I'm most excited about this one. Disney Plus has added a collection entitled Disney Parks. This includes almost anything to do with the theme parks, from the creation of rides to movies featured in the parks, and even includes episodes of various TV series that were filmed on the property. So if you ever wanted to relive Boy Meets World at Walt Disney World, now is your chance. And for someone who has worked in the parks, been a theme park cast member, I really am excited for this collection so that I can learn even more than I didn't already know. Olaf Presents is being released on November 12th, on Disney Plus Day. And it will feature Olaf retelling many of your favorite Disney classics in the same way that he recapped the plot of Frozen in Frozen 2, which was one of the best portions. But my personal favorite Disney Plus announcement today is that the Mysterious Benedict Society has been renewed for a season 2. Production will begin in early 2022. I am so excited about that because we watched the series, and I am currently listening because I really enjoy audiobooks. I am listening to the Mysterious Benedict Society. It's crazy. Sam and I have talked about how well it sticks, that the Disney Plus series sticks to the books. So I'm super excited that they are doing a second season. Back to you, Derek.
Same. Hey, you guys, I'm super excited about that too. And I have to say, the other thing I'm excited about, Kate, is that Olaf retelling of stories, because he's just hilarious and pretty much the best thing about all of the Frozen movies and the Frozen shorts.
And that will go along with our review of Shang-Chi and the Rings. So that'll be kind of a counterpoint on that week's episode. So
Disney Plus Day. Oh my gosh.
Yes. And we have an exciting announcement coming up soon about Jungle Cruise and how we're going to do that one. So stay tuned. And in the next couple weeks, we will be announcing something special with our review of Jungle Cruise. This week, we watched Star Wars Visions. It was a series of anime shorts that are completely independent within the Star Wars universe. So I'm going to start with you, Sam. Was it more Jedi or was it more Sith?
This is a really tough question. I guess the answer is I have no freaking clue, because half of these episodes, at least or more, I have to confess, I wasn't able to watch all 9. I think I watched 6 of the 9. I couldn't tell, at least at the beginning, who was the bad guy, who was the good guy. I couldn't figure out like who the characters were and what their relationships were with each other. Each of these was about, I don't know, between 10 and 20 minutes long. And I'm gonna say, in general, I hated it. So if that's the question on is it more Jedi or more Sith, then it's 100% Sith in my opinion. I honestly hated the series. I do have a favorite of the ones I watched,
Okay.
because I know we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But overall, yeah, this is a terrible thumbs down for me. Derek,
Okay.
what did you think?
For me, it was definitely more Jedi. I loved the unconnected stories of this series. To me,
I was not
Of
expecting
course,
that.
Derek. Of course, Derek likes this.
to me, it proves you don't have to have Luke or Chewie to have a successful Star Wars story, in my opinion. I liked that, and I will say I am not an anime fan. It worked in this setting to me. Apparently, there's styles of animation of it that I prefer over other styles. Were there all the episodes great? No. I will specifically mention the Toby episode. I could not. That was the roughest one for me. I didn't like, and I really didn't like the animation style on that one. Didn't like the story either. I did like that they all brought something new, however, and they had some kind of a twist in them. It made it a fun 15 or 20 minutes for me. Every episode had the "I have a bad feeling about this" line, which was a definite throwback to the original. So for me, definitely more Jedi on this side. Kate, how about you?
So I should probably preface this by saying I am an anime fan. My boyfriend is a huge anime fan, and so from dating him, I was introduced to the world of anime. And I have it is not my favorite, but I do have an appreciation for it. Some of these episodes held my attention more than others. I will be honest, I didn't watch all of them that were dropped. We watched, I think, 5 or 6. The first one was very good. I enjoyed, but and I would tilt more toward Jedi than Sith. Although Sam, I 100% understand where you are coming from. And Derek, I agree with you on how each storyline kind of held its own, that you didn't need. I agree with you 100% that you didn't need Chewie or Luke or Leia or to hold the storyline. That being said, as I was watching, it wasn't targeted. The audience that is going to eat this up, I know it wasn't targeted toward me. It was targeted toward people who really love Star Wars and who also really love anime. I mean, my boyfriend sat there riveted, just like, this is so good. It didn't particularly hold my attention. We also tend to watch animes. We watch it with the subtitles. We don't watch it dubbed, so we don't watch it in English. That's just kind of how we've always handled animes watching. So I do lean more toward Jedi than I do Sith, but it's kind of in the middle for me. Pete, what about you?
So I was just thinking, as I was watching the show, I was thinking like what you just said. There's like, you guys know what a Venn diagram is. I think there's a Venn diagram where you have Star Wars fans, and then you have anime, and then they cross. And if you have people that are both Star Wars fans and anime fans, I think they would like this show a lot. I'm a Star Wars fan, but I am not an anime fan. My daughter is very interested in animation. She's going to college for it, but so we watch a lot of different animation. I don't really care for anime. I liked some of the episodes, but I found the more of the series I watch, I kind of got more and more bored by it, because I'll agree with Derek that it was nice to not have the regular characters, to try telling these little novel stories, but it almost seemed to me like they gave them the same plot outline and said, okay, do this plot outline. Because it was always like there's a Jedi, and then there's like a Padawan, and then there's some kind of Sith figure, and they at some point come together and they fight. And they were like, okay, you have to do this story. And I'd say like 7 out of the 9 were that story to me. So by the time I got to the end, I was kind of like, can we do something besides Sith and Jedi? So
That's
probably
fair.
won't surprise you which one was my favorite when we get to that. But overall, I didn't think it was that great. I was expecting it to be hit or miss, because anything like this usually is. It's a lot of different styles, and so as I said, some work better than others. I think your tolerance for anime is really says a lot about whether you're going to like this or not, more so than your tolerance as a Star Wars fan. But yeah, I would put this on the Sith side for me.
Okay.
So
Ryan said he tried it, and then he started rewatching the best Star Wars movie, Solo. Sorry, Ryan. No.
Ryan,
no.
I'm with
Sorry,
you, Ryan.
No.
I would watch Solo over watching this again.
No.
I would agree with that. I would watch Solo over this again.
And Ed said he was not a fan. Crossing anime and Star Wars is like crossing mayonnaise and mustard. Think he'd get Dijon, but it's not anything more than
Clearly,
disgusting.
Ed has
Yeah.
never.
He wants you to say
eaten-
mayo turd.
Yeah, I know.
I'll say it, Ed. You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm with you,
Okay.
Ed.
Now, we all did say that we had episodes that we liked. So, Kate, what? Okay, almost all. Kate, what was your favorite episode?
Yeah, I just want to say clearly, Ed, you've never eaten at Sonic and had the brown bag special #1, where I get mayo,
Thank
mustard,
you.
and
Thank you.
Ketchup. It's delicious. Anyway, so here's the thing. I put a lot of thought into this question, and I think I kind of have to agree with Pete a little bit, where even though they were all separate storylines, it all kind of ran together after a while, that it was hard to, because we sort of binge watched the 5 or 6 that we watched. And I know the first episode, I really was riveted. The first episode had my attention. I didn't get distracted by my phone. I didn't get distracted by other things around me. But once we kept watching, I just progressively lost interest. And it's interesting because each episode was made by a different anime studio. So the studio that did a show called Haikyuu did one of the episodes, and a studio that did, I want to say, My Hero Academia, which is a huge anime, did another one. I spent part of the episodes trying to guess which anime studio did each thing. I'm going to say the first episode. And honestly, sitting in this moment right now, all I can tell you about it, even though I knew I was riveted the whole time, all I can tell you about it is it was definitely Jedi versus Sith, and there was a droid, and the droid helped save the people. So
Yep.
like it's they all kind of ran together for me, but I know that the first episode kept me the most riveted. Also, Ed, I see you with your Sonic for the blasts. I feel that. Thank you. Pete, what about you?
So my favorite episode, I think, was the second one, which was Tatooine Rhapsody, which was about the rock band. Because I think it was so different from all the other ones. I mean, there was a little bit of a Jedi story in there, but it And I don't want to say it was because there were some familiar characters in it, which there were, but that part wasn't the interesting part to me. The part was, it was really telling a story that was different from what I'm used to seeing for Star Wars. You know, a lot of these stories were very, you know, anime, but also you could see, you know, obviously George Lucas had Japanese film influence on Star Wars and the whole concept of the Jedi and everything like that. And so that was pulled heavily in a lot of these episodes. Of the ones that were that other story, I would say my second favorite was the one called The Ninth Jedi, which was the one with the little girl with the lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
that was transporting the lightsabers. There was a lot of plot packed into, and a lot of characters packed into a very small story, and I thought that one was really good as well. Those two were far and away my favorites. I will say, Kate, that the first one, I really thought the style was very cool. Of all the shows, that was the one that was kind of all in black and white, except for like the lightsabers and a few other things lit up. So I did think that was cool. But those two. Sam, what do you think?
Okay.
Can you find one you liked?
Well, the answer is no, but I can find two that I dislike the least. Let me put it that way. Okay. Because I will honestly say I really did not like any of them. But the ones I would pick is my top two, and I'm picking two because one of them is one of the ones that Pete just said, which was Tatooine Rhapsody. I liked the style of animation in that one better than some of the other ones. It's more cartoony to me. And I liked the rock band. I liked the music, right? So I will say I did like that Jabba, you know, made an appearance and Boba Fett made an appearance. So I actually did like the appearances by some of the original characters. The other one that I liked is kind of like that is my least hated is the one that Derek didn't like. It's just Toby, the little robot who wanted to be a real boy, who wanted to be a Jedi. And you know, he wanted I say he wanted to be a real boy. I'm likening him to Pinocchio, obviously. Because he wanted to be a Jedi. And again, the only reason I would say that one is because I liked the style of animation in that one than the other ones. But I really don't like anime, because I feel like this has been like every show that we've watched that is anime or kind of like anime, I have pretty much hated. So I don't know if it's, I will say I have never really, other than for this show, watched anime. So it's not like I have some prior thoughts about it or anything like that. But yeah. So those are the two that I dislike the least, but I honestly can't find any that I really enjoyed. Like I said, some of it was, those were probably the two that I understood the storyline from the beginning, whereas the others, I feel like it took until the end, or almost all the way to the end, to know what the storyline was and who was good and who was bad. Derek?
The two I liked the most are the one that Kate liked, and then the second one that Pete liked. As far as the Ninth Jedi, I would say my favorite was probably the Duel, which was the first one. The Ronin character was one that was interesting to me, especially because he had a Sith blade. His was red. So he's a Sith blade, but yet is going around fighting a Sith Lord. I loved you have to fix my droid before the tea kettle boils, because that was the signal for the droid to back him up, basically. I was not a huge fan of the patio umbrella lightsaber in that one. The one that went out and had like, think Darth Maul, but he has like 10 of them and they're in a circle. It was strange to me. If you really like that one, they're actually doing a novelization of that one that's coming out October 12th. So that's, you know, I'm really thinking about getting it because I really liked that story. I thought the light saber that could determine basically the light side or the dark side of the Force in a person in The Ninth Jedi was really cool because it showed when one of the characters went from Sith to Jedi, because his lightsaber went from red to green and he changed. I thought that was just really cool.
And the one was purple too, right? He was like on the fence. I think one of them had like a purple lightsaber at one point. The one who said that he was influenced by the other people's darkness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll just say I'll be the nerd that says that's not how they work.
I know. I didn't think so. I was a little bit. I was thinking the same thing, Peter. I was like, I thought that they come.
I'm not the guy that says that ruins things, but because I did like that one. That was one of the ones I liked. So
Ed said the first few episodes had some weird battle between two Siths. The twins was really weird. They had like this co-joined Star Destroyer, and one of the twins stole the Kyber crystals, so the cannon wouldn't work or something like that. And they fought each other, and it was So there was definitely some confusion in there. Okay, now we've all said there's some problems. So Pete, I'm going to start with you and ask, what would you like to see going forward? What would you change? Are there any of these you want a second part to? If they're going to do a season 2, what would you do to change it?
So there were a few stories that ended on kind of like a to be continued moment, but for the most part, I didn't really care for that. So I don't know that I want to see them continue anything. I would like to see a little less of, as I said, the sameness of it being Sith versus Jedi. Let's get some. I mean, part of I think what has worked for Star Wars with the Mandalorian and even Rogue One is getting away from Jedi fighting Sith, and so I would like to see a little more variation in the stories. Except, I mean, again, I know that the lone Ronin defending the village is a very Japanese trope, and so it doesn't surprise me that they went with that 4 or 5 times. But I'd like to see them get some more variety in there. I can't say I would want them. I mean, I'm not going to say I want it to not be anime, because it's, if this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do. It's for anime fans. So, I would stick with it. Even though I didn't like it a lot, I would maybe watch it again, because if there was another season, because any again, in any series like this, you get hits and misses. It is they're never going to be 9 great stories, right? So I would I guess the other thing I would like is maybe that for them to release them slower, so I don't have to watch it, because I think I would have liked it better if I hadn't tried to watch it all in a week. Because for me, the whole thing got worse as it went, and I don't know if that was because I was watching too much of it at one time. So maybe I would say release like 2 episodes a week or 3 episodes a week or something like that. So I suppose you can watch it that way, right? If you're not doing a podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the thing I would change is I'd say more variety to the stories. That's what I'd like to see. What about you, Sam?
So I'm in the Venn diagram, like Pete is in where there's no crossover between me and anime. But I do fit within. I'm not a Star Wars super fan, but I am a Star Wars fan. I love Rogue One. I'm gonna say what I would like to see going forward is Doug Days. I don't want to see any more of this. I'm a little sad because actually Doug Days we may not see anymore because of Ed Asner, but because of him passing. But yeah, I'm going to watch anything but this. So I'm not watching any more of these episodes. I don't care what they do with them. That's just it. Sorry, guys. Derek.
To me, I'd like to see a couple of these continued. Specifically, I want to know what happened to Sabaki from the episode where he turned to the dark side to save the girl he loved, and then went off with the Sith Lord. That's the only I don't care about the twins and if he found her, whatever. But that was the one that didn't end like a traditional Star Wars thing. It's a case of, okay, this guy went to the dark side. Now what's going to happen? And that's the only one that had enough of a twist to actually interest me. I'm with you, P. I want to see some different stories. I want to see show me a journey story that doesn't involve the Sith. Show me normal people interacting on a planet for once. Someone who's not a hero, show me what their life is like. Yes, I know it's not, again, as you said, the Ronin story is very in Japanese culture as far as the one man saving the village, but show me normal people. I think that would be interesting to me, because I think that's one thing I liked about Rogue One, Sam, is that they were just normal fighters. They weren't anybody special with Jedi magic or whatever. So, Kate?
Yeah. This is a hard one for me to answer because it didn't pique my interests, but so many people that I know who are big Star Wars fans and anime fans lost their minds over this. And as someone who loves a good mashup, I can appreciate that. So it to me personally, I probably won't watch any more of it. If it was anime and Marvel, maybe I'd watch more of it. But it personally doesn't tickle my fancy. But for those diehard Star Wars fans who also love anime, because I can appreciate a good mashup, all I can really say is like, yeah, I would like to see it keep going. Does that make sense? Is what I'm saying making sense?
Yeah.
So
Well, I don't mind if it keeps going. I mean, I don't have to watch it, right? So,
Yeah.
if people are loving it, then great, keep it going.
I don't really know how to answer what I would like to see going forward, because while each of them were different, they were also the same. Maybe even just have a random episode about Ewoks, about just like random anime Ewoks, and not where there has to be a battle, where someone has to come to terms with them accepting being a Sith. Like, nah. Give me Jar Jar Binks, man. Give me
where's that drop button?
Story. Get out of here. Or talk to me about people who are mechanics for AT-ATs, like where it's not where it's more funny. That's what I would like to see.
Okay. And I will say that the fighting is very anime. And so the fighting scenes were very anime. It says, how about 5 Jedi each with their own robotic lion? They can combine into one big robot. Oh, wait, that's been done.
Is that Transformers?
Very much.
No, Voltron.
Oh, Voltron. Yeah. That's right. Voltron.
Okay. Well,
And
as we
several
always do, Pixie Dust rating for the series. Kate, we're starting with you.
I'll give it a 3.
Okay.
I'll give it a 3.
I had a hard time doing this because, again, so much variation between them. I think I'll give it a 2.5.
You just violated Derek's rule.
No.
Oh, you said half numbers. Sorry.
Halves are wholes. And I will say, Pete, that's your lowest rating so far.
It might be. I didn't really enjoy this very much.
Yeah, fair enough.
A couple of the episodes I would maybe give in the 3.5 range, but most of the episodes I would put around a 2. So that's why I'm saying 2.5.
Okay.
Like, it was interesting to watch, but I didn't like it. So that's a 2. But it's a 2.5 for the whole series. Sam.
0.5. Yeah.
I believe that would just be 0.5.
I know, but I wanted to be clear that
Sure.
I, was giving it a half of a number.
Yeah.
Sam didn't like it.
Yeah, Sam didn't like it at all.
No.
Okay, guys, here it is for me. It's a 4.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Mhm.
Louise.
Wow.
I will say I'm not an anime fan, and I really enjoyed this. So
Wow.
there were several episodes that I definitely went back and watched again right away. So it's a 4 from me, and that's, guys, you guys know me. I don't give high scores like that.
No.
So Ed gave it a 2. Vicky agreed with Kate on that. You know, her not sure what she thought of it really. Had some friends. So yeah, that was Star Wars Visions, guys. Any comments to wrap it up? No.
I'd rather watch What If.
To each his own. So
I would rather watch What If too, Pete. I'm with you. And I did not like What If. So yeah.
Okay, so next week we have 2 things we're going to be watching. First is we're going to be watching a Diamond in the Rough episode of a special that is The Boys, which is based on the life of Richard and Robert Sherman.
This is not the Amazon series called The Boys, so don't watch that.
No, this is on Disney Plus, and if you search The Boys, it's the one that shows up there.
Very, very different than
Very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we will also be watching the new Star Wars Halloween special that is coming out this week, which will be real interesting to see how that turns out. It is a Lego Star Wars, so that does make a difference.
Lego Halloween?
Lego Star Wars Halloween.
Oh, it's a Lego Star Wars Halloween? Oh my goodness.
It is a Lego Star Wars Halloween special.
It better be funny is all I can say.
And the whole idea is that I know in one of the episodes, apparently Luke becomes like a TIE fighter pilot. So they're going way out there on this one. So it'll be real interesting to see how that goes.
I like the games. I don't generally like the animated Lego stuff.
Okay. That's fair. Guys,
So we'll
if
see.
you guys have suggestions on vault shows or Diamonds in the Rough, please email us at plusplatoon@gmail.com. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at plusplatoon. We are also available on all major podcasting platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, Pocket Cast, Stitcher. Please get on there, follow us, and give us those 5-star reviews, because that's how we get out and you can share the Plus Platoon with more people.
So before we go, quick survey of the platooners. Who has seen The Boys before?
I feel like I've watched part of it. I feel like I've watched part of it, but I don't remember. But I feel like I've watched part of it.
I watched the 2-minute trailer on there, and the trailer hooked me. But that's all I've seen. I haven't actually seen it before. So it'll be, Pete, I think you might be the only one who's actually seen all of it.
Okay. Just curious.
So with that, guys, we will see everyone next Tuesday at 9 Eastern, and we will definitely say good night. So bye, everyone.
Good night.
Bye. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Plus Platoon. Be sure to subscribe to the Plus Platoon podcast to keep getting great content each week. Then head over to Apple Podcasts and leave those 5-star reviews, as they help make the Plus Platoon visible to even more Disney Plus fans. Also, go to YouTube and like and subscribe to the Plus Platoon channel, where you can watch all future episodes live. If you have a question for the Plus Platoon, please send us an email to plusplatoon@gmail.com or connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Plus Platoon.
The Plus Platoon is a Disney Plus fan podcast and is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company or the Disney Plus streaming service. All opinions expressed on the show are solely those of the individual hosts and in no way reflect the views of the Walt Disney Company.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode, because the Plus Platoon is to be continued.